Yo, what's going on, everybody? Two Broke Dads Podcast, Episode 1. We are finally here. Episode 1, take like 2 or 3, man. We've been trying to get this right. We want to make it perfect for everybody. So we are here, Two Broke Dads. And when I say we are two broke dads, I do not mean we are broke, but we are definitely broke, which means we are too broke to let you hold something. So please do not ask. It is 2018. You need to get a job. Jesse, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? JesseRican. I'm here co-hosting with my boy Gooch. Nobody can get on one take. We're on all over, Let's talk about some subjects. We're going to go into subject matters, what's going on during the week. And the most popping thing that we can't avoid, even if you try to avoid it, we can't. I feel like we need to get into this topic, which is Kanye West.
Oh, for real, man. This guy Kanye West is pretty much, for lack of better words, this guy has lost his fucking mind. But I mean, I guess it's at the court of the people. What is the name of the song? It's Ye versus the People, right?
Ye versus the People featuring T.I. Yep.
That's definitely how it is right now. It is 100% Kanye versus everybody else. But let's get into it, man. I mean, this week Kanye obviously. If you're alive, you know what's going on in the world. You got a phone, you got a TV. You know this guy Kanye has been on Twitter going absolutely fucking crazy. And to top all that off, he's been in the media. He's got some interviews. So I will say one of my favorite pieces of media that has recently dropped is definitely going to be the Charlemagne interview. You got like an hour 47 minute one-on-one conversation, just open, real dialogue with Kanye West being interviewed by Charlemagne the God. Big shouts to Charlemagne. Also, huge shouts to the production team behind that creation. I will say, the interviewer, the host, they all get a lot of credit, but the production team behind that video, phenomenal. It is an amazing piece of art that was put out. The cameraman especially definitely did his thing. I mean, it was awesome.
You know what I was wondering the whole time? When they're walking down the mountain, is this guy walking side by side, filming them? Or is it... No, he's on something, right? That's like a cart or something?
It could be. I mean, so I do a little bit of video production and photography, I do some graphic design myself. I'm gonna assume that he was using some kind of a steady cam or a gimbal, kind of just walking with them. More than likely, the cameraman was focusing on the content, and there was probably someone else with him, steering him to make sure, obviously, he's not tripping. Or, like you said, they could be on some type of a slow-moving vehicle, maybe like an ATV, and still probably have some form of gimbal to eliminate any shake in the video. I mean, the finished product of that video was phenomenal. So definitely big shout out to the production team on that video. That was a dope interview, visually and content wise.
Yeah, and I saw a YouTube comment saying the real star of this video is the cameraman. I always love his thing. So, I always love that. But who else stood out to me was Charlemagne. Like, I really see him getting into, like, a news reporter position, if it pays more, or Breakfast Club, because it reminded me of, like, one of those 60, like, he's like the new Barbara Walters,
Oh,
like
yeah, for sure.
Barbara
that was definitely like a 60 minutes. Well, I mean, technically it was 107 minutes, but I mean, it was a phenomenal piece of journalistic work. And I can definitely see Charlemagne being someone who, outside of the Breakfast Club or moving past the Breakfast Club, having like a late night show. I can see Charlemagne the God having a late night show. And when I say I want to see Charlemagne the God on a late night show, I mean, no offense in this, but I do not want to see him on cable. I don't want to see someone try to stick him onto like a BET or MTV2 or, a TV.
Oh, you mean basic cable?
Yeah,
But
HBO
I don't want to
see. No, I want to see him on, like, ABC or NBC or
Or
CBS.
HBO. HBO might work out perfect for him.
Nah, well, you know what? HBO would be great because you are a little more free with your speech, your context, and your language, and your use of profanities, versus being on a standard TV channel. But I'm saying that his work is so good that I feel like, I mean, and nowadays there's not that many people who don't have HBO, but I just feel like it shouldn't be put behind a paywall. There are some people who unfortunately do not have cable. So when you get yourself on a cable channel, you are behind a paywall to some people. But I think his art of being a journalist and the questions he asked and just the way his demeanor during interviews is something that would fit well if he had like a late night talk show. I think maybe he needs some writers because all these late night talk show hosts, a lot of them started
Of
as
course.
they're funny. But Charlemagne is. I'm not saying Charlemagne's not funny. He's not a comedian though. But but maybe what he does is so different that he doesn't need to open his show with a monologue full of jokes. He can just open his show with a monologue full of real, meaningful content because that's what I always feel that Charlemagne brings to a conversation is meaningful content and it's unbiased and it's unfiltered. And I feel like the questions he asked Kanye were just that. This interview was great. So
Great
many things.
interview, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Big shout out Charlemagne. I mean, the content value on that and the replay value is dope too because I mean I've watched it. I probably watched like 1.5 times because it's a large amount of it's a long video. It's a lot to process. I watched it in pieces. I watched it like 45 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Just getting through the day. At some points, I was just listening to it. I was listening to it in the car. I was just playing it from YouTube, playing it through the speaker. So I listened to it like 1.5 times, and it's great. He hit on a lot of points. I think he got great questions. I mean, my only thing with it was, it made me almost feel bad for Kanye because Kanye was making a lot of good points about why he's been doing the things that he's been doing and saying the
Right.
things he's been saying and supporting the people he's been supporting. Now, I'm not gonna eclipse Charlemagne's interview with this, but there was also within the same few hours of Charlemagne's video being available, there was a whole TMZ thing. And after watching what happened on TMZ, it makes me not feel empathetic to Kanye. For a little bit I was like, oh man, Kanye, I feel you. I see what you're going through. And then to hear him go crazy on TMZ, the whole thing about slavery being a choice makes me upset. That makes me personally upset.
And I'm Spanish. that made me nauseous. So, you're talking about, and I get that his message was that there was more black people than white, so they should have came together. But you're talking at a time where these people had guns. The black people did. These people were uneducated because they were put on. Like, you're speaking on something that you have no history with. Like maybe I'm even I'll step in my boundary saying my disgust for that comment, but
no, not at all. I mean, I don't think you're overstepping your boundary at all. I mean, I was watching. I seen a quick clip with. Damn, I feel bad. I really don't know this dude's name, but it's the black guy from Black Eyed Peas.
Will I am?
Yeah, Will. I feel bad. Yeah, Will I am. He was on Good Morning Britain, and he was the only black person on that panel, and the other people who were British, were white. They were all appalled by the comments as well. And Will.i.am is someone who, he's not from, he just happened to be over there at the time, but Will.i.am is from, he's from California. One of the big things he had said was like, he has, and a lot of black people do, especially black people who are whose family and heritage is deeply rooted in America, we have family members down the line who were slaves. You know, that was his big thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why he was so disgusted by it. I mean, my father's
Well,
father,
yeah.
my father's side of the family comes from, you know, he has family all the way down to Virginia, and I mean, it is what it is. You know, I have family members, you know, through my family tree who were slaves, and a lot of black people do. So to hear someone say that, oh well, 400 years sounds like a choice, is disgusting and it's appalling, and it's a letdown from someone who you for years have put their work on a pedestal and have agreed with some of the things, with most of the things that they said and most of their ideals, because they were the complete opposite of what he just said.
I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that the same person that said George Bush doesn't like black people is making this comment. You know, and
Oh no, for sure. Shout out to Questlove. I saw he got a T-shirt that says Kanye West doesn't care about black people. I love that shirt.
oh wow, I didn't see that. That is dope.
Yeah, yeah. And he took it. He took the whole the Yeezy season 1 the I feel like Pablo font, and he made the shirt just like that. So it's definitely a slap in the face because it's using his style, but it says Kanye West doesn't care about black people, and that's how I feel right now too.
Now I might have a controversial opinion on this one, but then the dude from TMZ that stood up, everybody's like, "Oh, he got courage to stand up." No, he doesn't. Like, I mean, look, what he said was true, but he was on TMZ headquarters. There was no danger of losing his job. This was his time for fame, and he took it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No?
I don't agree with that at all. I think he said what needed to be said.
No, he said what needed to be said, but he said, like, all right, he said what he needed to be said, but it wasn't courageous saying it to Kanye at you know, if Charlamagne would have told him that, maybe face to face at his house, maybe that would have been. But him standing up and saying, "Yo, you let me down." You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not saying what he did was courageous. I don't see any courage in his action. I really believe that he meant everything he said, and he was speaking from the heart. And I do agree. I believe that needed to be said. I believe if Kanye went on saying the nonsense he was saying uninterrupted, without some logic being brought into the conversation, then that broadcast would have left just a ridiculous taste. It already did. It did. But
Okay, you're right. So I apologize to Van.
Van jumping in and getting his statements out and putting into perspective what a lot of people are feeling. But unfortunately, we're not in a room with Kanye. We didn't have that opportunity to say that. And Van said what a lot of people wanted to say and are saying online, but Kanye's not reading it. So Van took that opportunity to say it to his face, and hopefully, he didn't put any sense to him because Kanye didn't change after that. Kanye just went over and said, "I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry if I hurt you," and he hugged him. But he almost was like it was almost
Van
backhanded.
for doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I respect Van. Shout out to Van. I mean, it had to be said. It had to be said. There's no way around it. Like, he took that chance to say it because no one else is able to say it to him. Think about it. He's not putting himself around people who are going to jump out and say it to him. There's people online who are saying things to him, and I'm sure he has other celebrity friends who are texting him. And, while he is screenshotting everybody's text, I'm sure that he's not screenshotting every single person's text. So for someone to put something out there that's not going to be censored and not a choice to be received by us was great.
Yeah, you're right. All right. I guess. All right. So I give them credit for that. let's get into the Charlemagne. Do you want to get into the Charlemagne interview though?
Yeah,
like
definitely. Because
I
I already feel bad because I mean, in my head, I know that with these two pieces of content coming out at the same time, Charlemagne's phenomenal interview got overshadowed by the TMZ outburst, and I definitely don't want to do that. I definitely want to talk about some things that Kanye said in the Charlemagne interview. So I'll definitely get back to TMZ because there's a few other things that happened during that I'd like to touch upon while we're talking about Kanye West. But getting right back to the Charlemagne interview, one thing that was weird with the interview was like certain times like Charlemagne would ask Kanye a question and this guy would like freeze up for like 45 seconds and just wouldn't say nothing.
That was weird.
And I know he was trying to gather his thoughts because obviously whatever he's saying is going to be, for the most part, it's going to be set in stone. So I'm sure he wanted to make sure he said the right things. But I just thought it was odd because it wasn't like just a dramatic pause. It was like, 20 some odd seconds that he just was lost in thought, cultivating his answer.
Well, I think he was just, it was like, but I think, that's where those one-on-one interviews differ from like people being on the Breakfast Club, because you got to sit back and take it all in and actually think for a second. Okay, good question, and actually formulate it there. It's not, you can't be all over the place. So, which he still kind of was all over the place, So I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed the long breaths and stuff, because silence speaks words too.
No, I definitely I agree with that. I agree with that too. I mean, so what did you take away from the interview?
All right. Well, I have respect for Charlemagne off for the Jay-Z, Beyonce not showing up to his wedding. I felt bad for him off of that. He really felt something with Hov. I really do feel that. His wife getting robbed, and it was a plan to and they waited for him to leave and stuff. That shit was fucked up. What he said, when he calls it the breakthrough, when he said that Hov did this, he makes a couple points that I don't understand. He says Michael Jordan should be on the $20 bill instead of Harriet Tubman.
I see where he's coming from with that, but I think it's a little asinine. So if I'm putting Harriet Tubman up against Michael Jordan on the face of money, I'm not gonna pick Michael Jordan. If you're gonna say,
right, if they were playing 1-on-1, you would pick Mike.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna, Harriet Tubman, she get her ankles broke. Yo, he would cross her out of her scarf. Nah, but it's different. Like if you were gonna be like,
but when it came down to building the Underground Railroad, can Mike compete with her?
Oh no.
See, that's where you got to go with it.
Michael Jordan don't really care about black people either.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that.
Nah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. He don't really care about black people. But like I said, if I got an option for Harriet Tubman versus Michael Jordan on the face of money, I'm gonna pick Harriet Tubman every time. If you were to change that and say, hey, we got Michael Jordan and John Starks, then all right, I'm gonna pick Michael Jordan. But versus Harriet Tubman, that's not gonna happen. I mean, but I see what Kanye is saying. So if you had to pick, let's say, with Kanye's thinking, if you had to pick a sports star, let's say, to be on money, $20 bill, who would you pick? African American sports
Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson.
And that makes sense because what he did was a breakthrough in that sport. Michael Jordan was drafted into the NBA. He will go down, and obviously he's still the GOAT, best basketball player ever. But he just happened to be black and be in the NBA at a time where there was already other black people in the NBA. Now, Jackie Robinson, what he did in baseball, breaking barriers, just him getting into the league, that's different. That's monumental. That's historical. Michael Jordan scoring a lot of points and then, repeat. That's not historical. It's historical if you're a sports fan, but
right. It's historical in its own sense,
Yeah, but
I got you.
What Michael Jordan didn't open any doors for other people. Like Michael Jordan being great didn't open the door for, Kobe or LeBron. But what Jackie Robinson did, that opened the door for people like Bo Jackson. I'm going to stop there because I don't really watch baseball, so I don't know any other black people. Everyone else I know is Spanish in baseball. So I'm just going to say Bo Jackson because I know him, and that's about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's one person only that's not a president that's on a dollar bill, right? Which is Hamilton. Is that true or not? Do I got my facts right?
Alexander Hamilton?
Yeah, isn't he on the 20?
No. That's Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. But who's not a president? Isn't Hamilton on one of the bills?
Oh, no, you're right. He is on the $10 bill.
$10 bill. And he's the only one that's not a president, right?
Yeah, that's right. He was served as the first U.S. Secretary of Treasury. So this guy was just bigging himself up. This guy was like, yo, you guys are making mad bills. Let me just get on one of them. He said, don't have to be the biggest one either. Yeah, but you know what? Back then, $10 was probably like the biggest bill anyway.
Yeah, sir. Yo, man, I think what Kanye wants too, and from that interview, when he said him and his boy, I'm sorry, who's his boy? With the sneaker store? Yeah, the next Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. He really views himself like that. I don't see it,
Well, that's what he thinks. He thinks he's fucking. He thinks he's the next Walt Disney and Steve Jobs.
But I'm saying, where's the empathy when he says a comment like that?
Well, no, I'm not empathetic on those things. I'm empathetic on him being salty about Jay and Beyonce not coming to his wedding. I empathize with him on that. I empathize with him on, the whole Kim getting robbed in Paris. I'm kind of on the fence with the whole wanting an apology from Obama. I guess I don't know their relationship. I know what he's telling me, but you're not hearing Obama's side of it, and Obama, you're not going to hear Obama's side of it. He's never going to speak on this. He's not going to speak on it publicly.
Yeah, I mean, why should Obama? He has enough to deal with, dealing with all the bullshit that Trump throws on his name. Obama's just trying to live life. Now there's a comment.
Like Obama, he's not the president no more. Like, yo, he let him live. He's not the president anymore.
Facts. Yo, there's a comment that T.I. made on the Breakfast Club today. Charlemagne agreed with it. And, one of our boys actually made this comment before. Kanye West is our Michael Jackson, our Prince. I mean, I could not put him on that. I think Eminem is better than Kanye. I think, the old M. But is Kanye that our Eminem? I mean, our Mike, our Prince?
No, I can agree with that. I mean, when he says "our," he's talking about black people, so that takes Eminem out of the equation. At least the way I'm looking at it. Eminem would not be our Prince or our Michael Jackson. So I'm assuming he's talking about African American celebrity who we hold in high faith, who who so many people have grown up and listened to, and their music is a legacy that's going to live forever. So yeah, if Michael Jackson was still alive and one day, like, all right, so let's say Michael Jackson, rest in peace Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson did not pass away, and in 2016, Michael Jackson is at a Trump rally doing fucking Annie, Are You Okay with a MAGA hat on. Everyone is gonna hate Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have a handful of people though, with Kanye now, who are gonna make excuses and say, well, because of this, and well, because of that. How would you feel if Michael Jackson was still alive and he had a fucking ruby glittered glove and with the red MAGA hat on, fucking moonwalking circles around Trump and his family? You'd be disgusted.
Honest, I wouldn't be surprised. Mike has done some crazy shit, but Mike could do no wrong to the public's eyes. That's what I'm saying. That's where him and Kanye kind of differ. I mean, Mike hung his own baby out of a balcony, and we still loved him.
Yeah, Michael Jackson did some crazy shit, but you know something? You're right. Kanye's done a lot of bullshit, but for years and years and years, Kanye going crazy. Like T.I. said in the song, everyone has stood up for him. Everyone has jumped in there and be like, nah, it's Kanye. It's Kanye this and Kanye that. You know,
yeah.
So, yeah. But I think it's very different now. I think he crossed the line that, at least right now, in the climate of hip-hop, you don't align yourself with the current the current commander-in-chief. You just don't. It's just a line.
I'm not even mad about the well, yeah, the Trump shit kind of annoys me.
Well, if you're
but the 400
in the
years
in the culture right now, supporting Trump is a dumb move. So if you go out there on a limb, think about it. There were so many, and and people have said this before too. Like, you know, Kanye said it in the TMZ interview, how all these rappers back in the day would reference Trump in songs and be caught out with him in public, and literally the second he became president, everyone starts distancing themselves from him. You know, people start putting up pictures of Trump and whichever rapper, and they're like, no, that was 2014. That was before he wanted to be president. That's before he started putting out all these ideas. No, that wasn't this year. That was 5 years ago. This was 10 years ago.
Right. I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, you can't argue with the rappers that did distance themselves against Trump, because I mean, Trump became a whack job when he got in the White House. You know,
but that's the thing. He didn't become a whack job. He already was one. Now he just has a bigger microphone.
I mean, he was one. He had an ego, but like when you say John McCain is not a real war hero because he got captured, what the hell? What are you talking about? And then they still elect him. And then he goes on and says, when a white supremacist rally, there was good people on each side. How are the good people standing on the white supremacy side?
That's what I'm saying. He didn't just become this way. This is who he was. And this is the thing that always baffles me. At the end of the day, it is always going to be a shitty situation. But America has always been like this. It has always been like this. Like, it's a shame and it's sad, and RIP to the victims, RIP to the families that had to deal with this. My heart goes out to them. But yo, this is America. It's always been like this. It's just now that Trump is in office and, you know, his views and his ideologies are being worshipped, and these groups of people who have always been racist and who have always been in America, it's almost like they feel like it's okay to come outside now. It's okay to be openly racist now. Because if our president is going to go on TV and say that all Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers,
and he really did do that too. You know, that's the funny part.
He really did. You're right. I hate to say it's the funny part, but it's the truth. You know, so if our president is openly racist, the people who have been closet racist, if you want to call them that, they're coming out the closet. Coming out the closet in 2018 means something totally different now.
Totally different, yeah.
It's a shame, but when I see the Charlottesville thing, I'm just like, it sucks, and everyone's like, like you go on Facebook and everyone's like, oh, America's so racist now that Trump's in office. Like, no, motherfucker, America's been racist. It's always been racist. But it's just like some people just think like, oh, now that you just want to. And I guess this is where, I mean, maybe some people may disagree with me, but I don't blame Trump for making America racist. I don't. America's been racist. I think he's given them the platform to propel their views because he doesn't take them to task on the things that they do. Think about all these shootings that we've had in just the first 2 years of Trump being president. Yo, these were all white people. Not one time did anyone ever get labeled a terrorist. But you get one person, who's a little more darker than tan, fucking terrorist attempt, terrorist in action. And the crazy thing about it is ISIS, they just take credit for everything.
Right,
They just throw it out there. They're just like, yep, that was us. What up?
Yeah.
Come through, pull up. So you have to really, at least the government has to differentiate what is genuine ISIS versus what is just them trying to, falsely claim it. But whenever it's a darker person, boom, terrorist in America. Terrorist shoots up the club. Terrorist shoots up the school. Terrorist this, terrorist that. But whenever it's a white person, you never hear Trump say terrorist. You never hear him even say anything bad. When that white kid shot up he shot up that school, which shit, that
Parkland?
school, yeah, Parkland. That school is like 80 miles from me. Like not too long ago, I want to say like 3 months ago, I went down to that area because there's an IKEA right off of that block. I got off on the exit and I was like, yo, something about this school looks familiar. And then I saw, oh shit, this is the school that shit just happened like 3 days ago. Because you know what? One thing that, because you see it in the news all day long, was they have their school mascot is the Eagles. It's basically, but it's the Philadelphia Eagles logo, but it's in burgundy. So I kind of had that image in my head all week. And then we drove off. I saw a high school with a burgundy Philadelphia Eagles logo. And then I said, oh shit, this is the school, But that kid, during that whole time, it's like Trump didn't even speak on it. He was tweeting about other shit. And that's what's crazy now. I'm thinking about it. Yo, it's 2018 and like the president is tweeting everything. He tweets
That's what got him in the most trouble, his tweets.
Well, that's because obviously he controls his Twitter. Some people have handlers who you have a thought and you put it together and say, this is what I wanted to say. And they'll have someone who will type it up and say, hey, is this what you want to say? Okay, cool. Post it. Trump's got his iPhone or BlackBerry or whatever the hell he's got. And he's sitting there in the tanning booth, tweeting away.
Tweeting at Kanye. Thanks, Kanye.
Not just Kanye. He shout out to Chance. Shout out to Chance the rapper, too. This nigga Chance got canceled ASAP.
What happened?
During the earlier Kanye rant this week, or last week, whatever you want to call it, this weekend, Chance went out and said, which is true. He said, not every black person has to be a Democrat, which is true. You don't.
That is true.
But the context it was taken was him defending Kanye. So Trump saw that and threw his name in the tweet too. And was like, thank you to Kanye. Thank you to Chance. Historic day for black people. Like, yo, this is what's really going on. And then Chance was like, oh shit. Yo, the funniest thing I saw during that thing was like, yo, someone had wrote like, I have no problem canceling Chance the Rapper. I don't think I would have to delete any songs from my library.
Wow. I like Chance, man. I don't disagree with a black Republican, a Spanish Republican. I really don't. Um, it's just
I don't either too. What I disagree with is I disagree big time with the "Make America Great Again" mantra. I don't agree with that, and I won't get too deep into that because I can go on forever about that. But whenever you ask anybody wearing one of those hats when America was great, what time they want to go back to make America great again, without being too openly racist in their remarks, it is always a time that's years ago where
right,
shit was not great if you weren't white.
right.
So I don't agree with the MAGA mantra. Going back to Kanye aligning himself with MAGA and the whole "Make America Great" slogan, "Make America Great Again" slogan was a big no in the culture. It is what it is. You don't go there. And he went there, and you know.
You said there was something else on the TMZ shit that you wanted to talk about with Kanye.
Not so much with the TMZ thing. Definitely, the whole slavery being a choice was disgusting.
Yo,
Shout out to
actually, when
Van for
he said
stepping
that,
in.
yeah, I mean, shout out to Van for. Okay, can I make just 2 points here?
Yeah.
When he said that, how funny was Harvey Levin and the other dude's face? I forget when he said that. They just looked at him like, "Yo, is this dude really saying?" Like,
if I'm Harvey, I'm sitting there like, shit. This YouTube
cha-ching.
money is gonna be fucking great.
I was gonna say cha-ching, cha-ching. Jackpot.
Exactly.
But and then when he stood up and got the whole studio attention, that's when Van stood up too. And he said, "Oh, I was on opiates. I cut my obesity for you."
That's what I wanted to say when he was like 2 days before I got to the hospital, I just got liposuction. I got liposuction for you guys. For you guys. So you wouldn't call me fat. Like you did Rob. And then you made him leave before we got married. Like, yo, if I'm Rob, I'm sitting home like, yo, now I feel like even fatter piece of shit. Let me finish this dozen donuts.
Not only that, yo, he was definitely on something. It was reminiscent of when when this chick said, Whitney Houston said, "I ain't on crack. Crack is whack." I really feel like he was on something. And
No,
that,
yeah, 100%. I feel like Kanye. Well, I think he said he took something a day before. I think
he said I was hooked on like 7 opiates a day or so, and he said now you're lucky if I'm take once or twice.
No.
Now,
He said that he took something a day before the TMZ thing because he didn't want to come and acting crazy and live up to the stereotypes. You know what was funny when he was like, I want to jump on this table right now, but I'm not because you remember the last guy to jump on the table. You know what I'm talking about. Remember Oprah? What do you think about when you think about Oprah? Think about Tom Cruise and what he did. He was in love. He jumped on the couch, and what happened? Oh, Tom Cruise is crazy. He said, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to live up to the stereotype. I'm not going to be crazy. Like, yo, you just sound crazy with that whole dialogue.
it's like a somebody putting random thoughts together and just throwing them at you.
Yeah, he's a genius. That's what he said. He's the next he said he's the next Walt Disney. He said I'm the next Steve Jobs.
This is what I was wondering earlier today. Where did he make most of his money from? It wasn't off of rapping and tours, right? Because you don't have a mansion that big.
No,
was it off the Yeezys?
The Yeezy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kanye had money.
No. I just want to know where he got the money from, though. Was it the Yeezys, the sneakers?
Oh yeah. I mean, if what he said during the Charlemagne interview, he's saying that the Yeezy brand is going to be upwards of like $1 billion this year. I mean, he showed you the land. He said he bought 300 acres.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, the Yeezy brand is huge. I mean, me personally, I don't have any Yeezys, so I can't tell you if they're great shoes. They look awesome. They look dope, but it's not my thing. I'm not trying to stand outside for 3 days to get a pair of slippers, so I'm good on that. I don't really care for the clothing. You know, it doesn't. It's not my style. I'm not gonna. It's funny because I wanted to say I don't want to look homeless, but Kanye already said that. He was like, "You can say I look homeless all day. I don't care." So by saying those things, it doesn't upset him. And I mean, you're not. I mean, me personally, I'm not trying to upset him, but it's just not my style of clothing. That's not a look that I'm trying to achieve when I go out. So no, I don't wear any Yeezys. The sneakers are dope, but I'm not trying to play those prices for sneakers either. The resale on those is just ridiculous. I think they retail for like $220, and then you go on eBay or you go to StockX, it's like $700-800 for certain pairs of shoes. I mean, but he's doing his thing though. You can't knock him. You know, I understand in the interview why he left Nike, but in my opinion, and I don't know if this is because I'm partial to Nike because that's a majority of the footwear that I rock.
Me too, yeah.
I thought the first Yeezys on Nike were dope, but I understand his reason for leaving. I just wish he would have took that design to Adidas, but I understand, you know, different ball games, different household. You got to make change, you got to make sacrifices. So what he did put out looks good. I don't like all the Yeezys. I do like the 350 Boost. I don't like the high top ones. I don't like the big chunky dad shoes. I don't like the boots or any of the clothing. But the low tops are official.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of name brand clothing, to tell you the truth anyway.
Neither is Kanye. Kanye said he don't wear brands.
Yeah, but then his clothes cost like $200.
Yeah, for a plain ass T-shirt with no logos on
it. You know, but you know, it's kind of like the genius. I don't know. Is it? I think Kanye West fans are saying this is genius. Like Jesus Walks was a genius track. You know, nobody would have thought.
Because you didn't. No one thought that a rap song talking about God and Jesus would break the airwaves the way it did.
Right. Yeah, especially as a single, you know. But this new Yeezy, I mean, check me out as a fan. I mean, I've been outside of the fan box for a while. I think my last, and I bought a couple of Kanye records, but I would say count me out since the 606. I didn't even like that album.
What are you talking about?
When he was singing, wasn't it called 606? What was it called?
Okay. 808s and Heartbreaks.
Oh, that's 606. Well, that shows you how much I've been paying attention to. I've been out since graduation.
Oh wow. I mean I've listened and I don't want to say I've owned not the last few just because of the way streaming services work, but in the beginning, yeah, I bought every Kanye album that dropped. I didn't really care for the album, the one with the bear on it was Stronger, but I still copped it because I was a big Kanye fan. And I want to believe I still am a Kanye fan, but I'm not a fan of him right now.
Are you going to buy the album when it drops? That's the main question.
I mean, I'm going to end up listening to it, you know, because you want to hear what he's going to say. That's why I'm going to listen to it. I want to hear because obviously he's not recording his album in one day. He's not recording his album the night before it drops. It's a process. So to hear what he's going through during this time, maybe what comes out on the album will shed some light to why he's gone batshit crazy and what he has to say. Yo, did you see this guy wanted to put the fucking the doctor, the surgeon, on the cover of his album, and the surgeon wrote him a letter like,
no,
let's not do that.
Wait, which one? Which one?
So he got a new album dropping. he wanted to put the surgeon on the cover of his album. The surgeon who
Which
worked on
surgeon?
his mom. The surgeon who worked on his mom before she died.
What the fuck is what?
Yeah, because he said he wanted to put out a message of
Forgiveness?
Yeah. So he reached out to him, and he wanted to put that doctor on the cover of the album. Make that the album cover. It looked like it looked like just like a staff photo for the
That's
doctor's
just
office.
weird to me. That's just weird.
Yeah, but the doctor was like what's his name? His name is Jan Adams, and he's asked Kanye to be removed from any of his album covers or any of his promotional material for his album. He does not wish to partake, but he is a supporter of forgiveness.
I don't know. That's kind of weird, don't you think?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe that's his therapy to get over it. I don't know.
But yeah, you don't know. Everyone has their own way of getting past something and coping with something. So, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, I'm sure that guy has to approve of his picture being on there, and he's not going to. I think he just wants to get. And if I was him too, I'd want to get as far away from the Kanye train as I could right now too. I'd much rather just watch than be a passenger.
See, my whole thing with the whole Kanye situation too is, and I know we spent the whole show on him, which, I mean, salute to him getting, there's really not that many subjects we could speak on, and you have every other podcast talking about you. So I get that part, but Kanye doesn't need that part to sell a record. So that's not where this is coming from. It's not a publicity stunt. But even with Kanye, a sit down with Kanye is not going to get you more views than a sit down with Jay-Z. So, or even Eminem.
I don't want to say that. A sit down with Kanye right now is going to get you more views than a sit down with Jay-Z right now.
You think so?
Right now, if you're putting it in perspective of the audience that's going to be driven to
because if Charlamagne sat down with Jay-Z talking about the affair he had,
maybe,
right?
But he already did that with Rap Radar.
Yeah.
I already heard.
No, I know. No, I know, but for like an hour, yeah, you're right.
I already heard it. I heard it through the album. I understand it. I already understood the affair through the album before the interview with D-Dot and what's it called? With B-Dot, I'm sorry. I already understood it, and I respect him for what he did. The interview was great with them too, but I think right now, today, if you were to put up an interview with Kanye, and you take Kanye's interview with Charlamagne and you put up another interview with Charlamagne and Jay-Z, you put them back to back, I bet they're going to have almost equal amount of views, because everyone's going to be listening to both interviews to find out what the other person had to say about the other person.
That's true. That's true too.
But I will say, I'm sure more people will probably tune into Kanye right now because everyone's talking about Kanye. But you're right. If someone dropped an hour-long interview with Jay-Z right now, it would do phenomenal on the views and trending and going viral. Because it's Jay. I mean, how many interviews do you have with Jay right now? But what is he going to talk about? He has nothing really to talk about right now other than what he's already talked about. So my interest to that interview is going to be less than my interest to the Kanye situation right now.
That's true. That's true. I didn't even think about it like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't anything else on the Kanye subject.
I wish Kanye the best. I feel like, I mean, I know everyone's, shitting on him right now, but he's saying himself he's definitely going through something mentally, and that's not a subject you should joke on. I don't think it's not something to poke fun at. So if he's dealing with something, I wish him the best, and if this is his way to process that situation and get through it, then I guess it's what's going to work for him. but at the end of the day, it's at what cost?
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of people who are upset right now and disgusted at what Kanye said. But as disgusted as I am, I just said that, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to listen to the album because I want to hear what he has to say. So
Oh, me
even
too.
though
I'm
I'm disgusted
definitely.
in what he said and his views, I'm going to end up still listening to the album. So I guess that makes me makes me a hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, let me not say that. I don't want to call myself a hypocrite because I'm not saying I condone what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm not looking to punish him in any way.
well, it's like being a battle rap fan that I am,
Yo,
but
battle
I
rap
don't
is
see it
washed in
reminiscent
2018.
for real. I don't feel, but I'm a Daylight fan, and I
Shout out
remember
to Daylight.
Daylight
That
came
guy,
up.
yo, Daylight is the man right now.
That guy's the man,
He
and
stays relevant.
he came out with a KKK outfit versus his battle, and everybody in the battle rap community is like, "What is he doing? What the hell is he doing? He's making a mockery of, And, he came out with a KKK outfit versus a white guy. I mean, to a much smaller scale, is that possible? What Kanye's doing with these comments that he's making?
Yeah, it's completely yo. So before he went on his the rant about being crazy, he did talk about a lot of projects that he has coming out that he's producing. He said he got
Right.
an album with himself. He got an album with Cudi. He got a Nas album coming out. So is this all just publicity for those albums? Maybe.
Yo, him and Nas collaboration will be crazy.
But I don't think that those people, Kanye himself, Kanye and Kid Cudi together, and Nas / Nas Kanye possibly, I don't think those albums needed this
Yeah,
to
yeah,
propel
yeah.
them and to be profitable or popular or whatever you want to call it. The caliber of those artists speak for themselves. They didn't need this to do that. So that's why, as some people say, it's a publicity stunt. It's great marketing. I kind of don't think it's marketing. I don't think it's publicity. I think it's just officially Kanye's just on some shit. And you know what? Maybe we're wrong. Think about this. And I know this is going like super left field for some people. But maybe he's not on some shit. Maybe this is the way he really feels. So do you just respect him for the way he feels? While you could still be upset and disgusted about what he said, do you just let it go and respect him for the way he feels? I mean, think about it. And I know we said this before. Kanye's rich. And the plans of our current president are to do things to protect rich people and all their money. I'm gonna just put that out there.
I think you're trying to sound way too much like Kanye and read too much into that, man. Like,
No, I mean, I don't want to dig too deep, but it is what it is. I mean, Trump is looking out for people with money. He's not looking out for the everyday middle to low class America. He don't give a shit about that.
facts. That's
So
facts.
why wouldn't if you're rich and you got money and you don't want to be taxed up to the out the asshole for starting a business and have to go through all these different, like, he said about starting businesses and whatnot, and Trump is trying to make it easier, then hell, support him. And I will say this. I bet you there's a lot of other hip hop artists who, behind that curtain, voted for Trump.
Voted for Trump. Of course.
And they're going to get on a record and they're going to say, fuck Trump, fuck the White House, fuck Make America Great Again. But behind closed doors, behind that ballot box, maybe they didn't click all Republican, but I'm sure there's some of them that voted for Trump.
Well, and at the same time, that's a great thing about a ballot box. Because if anybody could see who you voted for, Trump wouldn't have been president. So, I mean, not that I want Trump to be president, but that ballot box is your own privacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, vote for who you want vote for. Like you said, behind those closed ballots, I'm sure a lot more people did vote for him. But I believe they're regretting that idea now.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people. It's because this is the world we live in now, and this is the country that we're in right now, and the way it's being run. But the media, they love this shit. They eat it up because that's all you ever hear. Like, yo, I'm on my where's my phone? I go on my phone. I go to the news section. So I got an iPhone. For people with iPhone, you swipe to the left. You got all the little widgets, the weather and whatnot. So on that little widget section, I have my Bible verse. Every morning I read a Bible verse. Every morning since Trump has been president, right above that, I also have my bubble for the latest news. Trump is always in there right now. I just went to it. How Trump's doctor stopped being an ally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and this is every day. This is every day, multiple times a day. Because I swipe this way to get a quick view of my calendar, and I'll just get caught up. I'll be reading my calendar like, okay, I got a lunch meeting at 1:00, and then I'll just scroll down and be like, oh, Trump is in this, Trump is in that. Like, yo, Trump fucking stays in the news. He's the master of staying in everyone's mouth. Not just because he's the president. He's out there. He's getting it in.
Yeah, it's exhausting too, though, man, to hear.
No, it is. It's exhausting because, like myself, I'm not a Trump supporter. So to me, while I understand where we are, and I understand that nothing's going to change overnight, I can't sit around and be mad for the next 2 to 6 years, which, in my opinion, is
going to be 6, bro. It's going to be 6. He's not losing the next election. Let's be real.
I don't know. I want to say, and that's why I say 2 to 6, because I kind of hope that, because even his party is getting tired of him. Like, he may be the first president where the party is just like, nah, we don't want you to run again. We want this guy to run. And I mean,
no, but he did.
I don't know much about politics.
He knows how to secure his votes. Like, he said, Israel is the next capital of the Jews, of Jewish people. Jewish people love him because of that. Love him. So now he got the Jewish votes. He did something the other day. I forgot what it was. But I'm like, it's all, look at North Korea, South Korea. Now they want to call him, now he brought them together. Now people are like, oh, man, maybe he's a peacemaker. And I'm not saying bringing North Korea and South Korea was a bad move. I mean, I respect him for that. But I don't want him for that. But he is making political plays on his own. Like, naming Jerusalem, Israel the capital. It was, I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was. But naming that island the capital for Jewish people just won him 90% of the Jewish votes. So he's not that stupid neither.
No, I don't think he's stupid at all. In no way do I think he's stupid. But my opinion on him is not just about is not about his intelligence. I do think he's very intelligent. I don't think he's the best. I don't think he. I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. I believe he's very intelligent. I just don't think he presents well all the time. And I don't agree with a lot of his beliefs and ideas. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do support America. So, I'm not trying to sit here and just sulk and be pissed and not do anything. I'm a strong supporter of, while it is important to vote for the presidential election, the most important votes you're going to make are your local votes.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that. I mean, I'm not saying that the president can't affect my life, because he can, but the people who I put in office locally are the ones who are going to most directly affect my life, and those are important votes to show up to.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I need to start doing it on my own, but I agree with you.
It's because as you grow, you age, and you realize like like I don't want to say like voting for the president doesn't matter, but at least to me, the way I look at it, my vote for the president doesn't matter. My vote for the local people in my state.
Well, actually, you live in Florida, so it does matter.
Yeah, I guess it does, but my personal vote for president, like it's never, you're never gonna get that that movie or TV episode feel where it's like, everyone voted except for Leon. We gotta find him. We gotta make sure he puts in his vote, and then
the South Park.
Like, yeah.
South Park, the Deuce. Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna get that moment where everyone's looking for me to cast my vote, and it's not gonna happen. So for presidency, no, my one vote, in my opinion, doesn't matter.
And then half the people
mean something.
Half the people on Hillary's side say, "Let's go, Gooch."
Yeah, for real. Like no one's checking my one vote. So, but my local stuff, I really do think my local stuff matters. Locally, a handful, a couple hundred votes can be the difference. So
hold on.
And the election doesn't matter because you have, you got the whole electoral college, and that's not numbers. It's not like it's not the person with the most votes wins. Most of the local stuff is the person with the most votes wins. So
facts.
That's why my one vote matters. Electoral college doesn't mean shit. It's the dumbest thing. I understand why we have it. I'm not trying to get into a debate about having it or not having it or getting rid of it or whatever. I understand, but I do think it's stupid. Local votes, whoever got the most votes wins, and those votes are important. And those votes are sometimes hard to come by. I will tell you, people locally, they lobby a lot. Like, we'll see them outside of Walmart. Like, they'll come up to you, and they'll be like, can I speak to you, blah, blah, blah. And you look, and, they give you a pamphlet. You're like, oh, shit, that's you wearing a suit. Because they try to look like everyday people. So they come through in, like, Dockers and, boat shoes. So they look like they're normal and they fit in. And then they give you a pamphlet, and they're like, oh, that's me, Joe McCreary, running for, county legislator. And your vote really means something to me.
It's funny, too. Like, they visit schools, too, to give the kids the pamphlets so the kids could give their parents. Like, I remember I picked up my son from school one day, and he was like, oh, we got to see him. He's so much better than Donald Trump. Let's vote for him. And he gave me the pamphlet,
Oh, yeah, because you think about this, too. There's some people who don't know all the candidates, and they vote by recognition. So, like, this is really far-fetched. But let's say your son, and this is local. I'm not going to go at the presidential level, because if you don't know who's running for president, then get the fuck out of here. But at local level, you got a local county or town. Let's go to town. Let's make it go all the way to town. There's someone running for something in your town, and they visit your kid's school. They give your kid a couple pencils, a notepad. Kids go fucking crazy for pencils and notepads because they can draw shit all day long. Mm-hmm. They give that to your kid. Your kid brings it home. He leaves it on the counter. You see it. John Brown, 2018. And you see that, and your kid comes home with it, and he's writing notes on it. He's drawing pictures. Oh, Dad, look, I drew a scorpion. Dad, look, I drew a monkey. Every time you see it, you see John Brown for president or John Brown for town legislator, 2018. You go to the ballot in November. You're voting. You're doing your, you're doing your state stuff. You're doing your national stuff, and then you get down to the town one. And you're like, oh man, who the fuck is Jill? Whatever. Oh, John Brown. I know that dude. And then you just click yes on him because you're just voting by, visually. You're not voting by, you don't even know what the fuck this guy's standing for. Your vote could have put you into fucking slavery, not by choice. But you just vote, because you saw it. And that they go to the schools. Think about it. Why go to a school, elementary school? They can't vote.
It's funny, too, because isn't that part of what the Russian collusion Facebook is about, too? You're so familiar with, because I'm like, Facebook doesn't change anything. But you're so familiar with saying Trump on Facebook. But I think that's all bullshit, though. I really do. In the sense you said, not so much, but the Russian collusion is just like
I do think people, and kind of, and I guess this is a good way to tie it right back into Kanye because he brought this up, is people are being programmed.
Yeah, I got
think
that.
About it. Think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Not that many people watch TV and watch the commercials anymore. Before,
right.
You used to watch TV and you had to watch commercials. Now they got like, TiVos and DVRs. You could just skip that shit. You don't gotta watch commercials no more. You don't have to take in that information. But when you're on your phone and you're on your computer, like think about it. Imagine if every time you watch, all right, what's a show you're watching right now on TV?
This Is Us.
Okay, you're watching This Is Us. Imagine the whole time you're watching This Is Us and you can't do anything about it. A random ad is always on your screen the entire time. Every couple seconds, it comes back with a different one. Like that's how. Think about it. When you scroll through Facebook, you're like, "Oh, this is my sister's kid. That's cute. Oh, look at my friend from high school. He's still a douchebag. Oh, look at this guy. Who gives a fuck about him? Oh, an ad for this weird thing. Oh, you see something like, oh, why do the jewelers hate this man? Or what Friends character are you? And you go through all that bullshit and you get fed into more ads and you just see all the same shit all the time. And it is what it is. Like they're programming people through the internet, through the computers. Imagine if every time you were watching TV, there was ads on there telling you what you need to be doing, what you should be interested in. You would feel, you'd be like, yo, what the fuck is this? I'm just trying to find out how Jack died. I watched the show for 3 seasons. How the fuck did Jack die? Oh, look at that.
Right.
He didn't even die at the fire.
Yo, speaking of programs, man, do you want to spend 5 or 10 minutes on YouTube Red right now on Cobra Kai?
Yo, that shit is so dope, man. I mean, I watched the trailers.
I saw first 2 episodes. Yeah, I saw the trailers also, but YouTube only offered the first 2 episodes for free.
Yo, just sign up for the 30-day trial, watch it, and then that's it. Or I guarantee you. So the date on it was May 2nd. So it just dropped today. The way the internet works, it's gonna be out there somewhere. It probably already is. I'm not saying that you should watch it legally. You should sign up for a trial. You should pay for YouTube Red. But somewhere on the internet, you may be able to watch it for $0. That's all I'm saying.
But I just want to say, the storyline is so dope, and it's
the story is way more than what you. And this is the thing that sucks, is because it sucks for you, not for me, because I have Google Play Music, so I have YouTube Red. I think there's 10 episodes. I already watched the first 7, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish the rest of them tonight or by tomorrow. There's so much more to the story than what you see in the trailer. And I will say, this show is, in its own way, it tackles and at least, let me not say tackle, it touches upon
getting older, like life,
current issues. Oh yeah, getting older for sure. But like I see them talking about bullying. They talk about mental health. They talk about single parents. There's things that after you're done getting caught up in the whole 80s nostalgia and seeing fucking Danielson, grown up and being on, being where he is now, the things that they touch upon is almost like a real TV show. And I like that it's a half an hour. I wish it was an hour, but I do like that it's a half an hour because it's just like a regular, it's like a Full House. Because it's every episode, it has a rise and a fall. Every episode, they're faced with an issue, and they go through it, and then the episode ends. And every episode, while it is connected in the story, every episode also, at least from 1 to 7, that also lives on their own too.
Right. Well, and it's from the 2 episodes that I saw too. Daniel doesn't know his kids are, he's seeing them. It's the point of view through both of them. which I think is great writing. Like, there's not a clear bad guy, there's not a clear good guy. You know, they're both dealing with their parenting issues. They're both dealing with their life issues. You know, like,
No,
from the
no.
first
And
two
originally, I thought it was going to be Daniel was going to be the bad guy. I thought it was going to be taking the
right,
entire thing
exactly.
and flipping it on his head, and it's not. Like you said, there is no clear good guy or bad guy, because without spoiling it for you or anyone else who hasn't seen it, even by episode 7, close of episode 7, there is no good guy. But there's times where you're like, oh, Daniel's an asshole. But they both are, because there's a
Right.
they still have that competitive nature between the two of them. Like, all right, so, and this is without spoiling it. Obviously, if you've seen the original Karate Kid,
Oh, I love that part. Well, okay, can I say the first episode part? Go ahead.
oh yeah,
When he goes, one of my favorite parts was like when they meet up in the car shop. And he goes, "Oh, I kicked his face." He's like, "You mean with that illegal shot?" And it's so funny because, like, if you're like a Karate Kid geek, like an '80s geek and stuff, people used to complain about that Daniel's son actually did an illegal kick to the head
yeah.
because they said anything above the waist, right? And then he goes, "Oh, well, you elbowed me," and he's like, "Well, I got a point, and you got the match." I love the fact that they brought stuff into like that into the show.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of it. They touch it, and I love how. Okay, so in the first episode, after the kick, you know, the what is the crane kick, you know, and this is because I watched it like twice after I saw it. So after the kick, it's not like they did like computer editing. Right after the kick, when the kick hits the face, they have a different actor. Like, and it's very clean. You almost can't even tell, but it's another actor that's finishing Daniel's kick, and then kicking Johnny in the face. And then that actor, you know, they just, you know, of course they put him in the whole uniform, and he's laying there on the floor, and that's where it starts. I love how they took pieces of, and you'll see this as the series progresses, pieces of the movie and added it into the show, even as a flashback. So and this isn't a spoiler. This isn't going to ruin anything for you. There's one of the episodes where they flash back to Johnny as a kid, and it's showing how he gets into karate. Now, in the movie, it's a scene where they're in the dojo, and I think Daniel's looking through the blinds, and he's watching them practice. And that's a scene where you just see the sensei and a line of Cobra Kai students just punching, but you don't see Johnny in it. Now, the way they bring that into the show is Johnny's riding his bike, and he drives past the dojo, and they take it as him being the one looking through the blinds. So they show him on the outside. You know, the shot is
Yeah.
the camera's inside, shooting him as a kid through the glass with the blinds in front of them, and then the back shot, which would be him looking into it, is a clip from the movie of Daniel looking through the blinds. And it's just dope how they took little parts of the movie and brought it to life in the show. There was one episode, you know, kind of at the end, they kind of did like a little praise to Pat Morita, rest in peace to Mr. Miyagi. So definitely dope. It's
Well, they showed him an episode too. He looked at the picture of him and Mr. Miyagi. He's like, "I wish you were here," and so.
Oh no. Well, you'll see. You know, when you finally get to watching it, you'll see he gets it gets deeper than that a little bit. Not, I don't want to say too deep, but at the end of the episode, you know, it says in loving memory of Pat Morita, 19.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, 2000. Because that episode had a piece of the movie of Pat Morita in it. That episode, so it is dope, and the way the storyline changes and the way they utilize all the characters is great. And like you said,
So what do you give a 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5?
oh, I'm definitely gonna be like a 4. I mean, the Karate Kid fan in me wants to say a 5 out of 5, but let me watch the next 3 episodes. I still gotta watch episode 8, 9, and 10, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a solid 5. I mean, everything I've seen so far is great. It's got humor. Like I said, it touches upon a lot of stuff. One of the main things, of course, is bullying, being broke, being poor.
Right.
And then comparing yourself to someone who's rich, and I guess that's where the flip is, where you take, at least during that, in the movie, you've got Johnny who's on top of the world, and Daniel's a nobody. He just moved down from Jersey, and he's getting picked on, and he's a loser in some sense.
Right.
Now you fast forward, and they said 81, so you fast forward, I don't know, 36 years, 37 years technically, into the future, and now Johnny's a bum. He's a loser. He's separated from his girlfriend or wife. They don't say they were ever married, so his girlfriend, and he's got a kid, and he's a drunk. He's just a slob. He's a mess, and he's an electrician part time, and then he fucks that up. And then you look at Daniel's son, who was the loser in the 80s, and now he's
on the biggest car sales.
Those fucking karate.
I'll chop your deal. Chop your deal. Chop it. Oh man, it was great, man.
But nah, it only gets better. So I will say that. I will say that the show only gets better.
All right, man. Should we be out of here?
I feel like there's so much going on that we could definitely do this once a week. I definitely want to. I want to hear from you guys though. We're gonna post this up on YouTube. Try to get it on SoundCloud and it out to you to consume it. We want to get it to you. We want to hear what you think. We want to hear what you want to hear us talk about. And eventually, we definitely want to have some people call in, so that would be dope too. That's pretty much it, man. Episode 1, so it's in the books. Two Broke Dads podcast, episode 1 in the books. It's a wrap. And remember, when I say we are two broke dads, I do not mean we are broke, but we are definitely broke, which means we are too broke to let you hold something. So please do not ask. It is 2018. You need to get a job. We out.